Hi and welcome to another video of Dad's RC Hangar. I was going to make a second video last time, but the camera I was using was just getting worse, and I think that I was going to make a video of the best way to smash to bits a camera. Maybe I'll still make that, maybe. This video though is coming from, I treated myself, before I start, I treated myself, it's my birthday next year, so I thought I'd treat myself. It's the new Cannon M50 with a dead furry animal on top for the microphone. We'll see how it goes. I mean, let us know if you think it's totally crap. I mean, I've not really gone into it in much detail. Just go with the flow, push record and let's rock and roll. But anyway, apart from that, this is going to be how to set up a receiver to your transmitter. As you know, that really this is kind of a follow-on from the J3 Navy Cub that I'm building, but I thought I'd make this side video first, so you know how I join this sort of receiver to my transmitter with a couple other bits and pieces before we actually put it in the J3. But yeah, let's get to it. Alrighty, we're going to get the camera in a better position in the future. What we're talking about, we are talking about this. I use FrSky receivers. I'm sort of like, if that should focus out, is that going to focus? It's trying to focus to my hand. Oh, there you go. FrSky Receiver S6R. Now, there is other receivers that you can use in different types, but I use FrSky, I use the receivers, and I use the transmitters. Now, this we'll be putting in the J3. Now, if you see, I just want you to make sure, let it just focus up. It'll have to focus up. Come on, focus. Still getting used to this camera. It'll focus when it wants to. It's just trying to focus, I think. Okay, let me just read it rather than that. As I say, I do apologise for getting used to this camera. You've got 6 outlets, and the first one is for your ailerons, the second is elevators, the third is your throttle, 4 is rudder, 5 is aileron 2 if you split your ailerons, and 6 is aileron 2, sorry, ailerons, and 6 is your ailerons. So ailerons, throttle, rudder, and you've got some spare 2 there. And the other one's an S-port. We won't go too much into that because you don't really need to know that. Now also, this particular model has stabilization. Now what is stabilization? Well, 3-axis stabilization means that you could use this as a safety in your plane. A lot of people sort of frown upon it because they say, well, hey, you should be able to fly a plane. You shouldn't have to deal with this. But there might be some times when, you know, you're flying on your own and it's a bit windy and you want to, you know, sort of a help button. So what you can do is that you program it in 3 axes. I think that's the 1, 2, and 3. We go through that with another video. And then basically when you flip the switch, it will keep the plane stable, horizontal. You know, come out of a dive or stop climbing or banking or whatever, it will just keep it straight flying. Good get out. These are the antennas. Obviously one should be vertical, one should be horizontal in the plane, but we'll go to that when we build the J3. On this we got our battery. I'm loving the new Taranis graphite. Pretty awesome battery. This is the battery that can fit in the J3. It's I believe it's a 4S 75C 2200 milliamp. Lovely battery. Sorry about the glare. If you can put up with me on this video, I'm going to get some more get this sorted out so it's a lot nicer for you to view. You know, I don't want you to view a video and say, you know what, oh god. Right, this is another FrSky. Now you probably be able to read that. It's a voltage sensor. Basically got a little LCD here that tells you the each cell. So this one's got 4 cells. It tells me the 4 cells of the battery. Now the good thing about this, you don't have to have this. This is basically how the setup I like. This will connect to all this. This actually connects to that. We can actually probably do that. So it goes up to 6S battery. That is my ground. So follow suit. Your ground is your first one. And that should, he says, there you go. Can you see that? Probably the camera doesn't like it, but it's basically saying cells 1 is 3.75, and then you've got 2 is 3.74, 3 is 7.5, and 4 is 3.76. And that's not too bad. We can use a little tool, another video, to show you how to level them up, because it's always nice to fly with a level battery. This is basically, this battery is in a storage state, but I can just use this to show you how we're doing stuff. Okay, so basically we can we could probably do it just through that. Actually, we don't need any other kind of battery. Normally what you can do is you can go on any one of these with your servo, with power, sorry, and power up. So if I've got a little cable here, this is just a standard cable. So if you use those as if you look on the side here, sorry, the top is minus, and then the middle is plus, and the last one is transmission. So if I can try and do this for you, so in focus, this one, actually this one probably doesn't, but let's find one I prepared earlier. This one, sorry, this is the lead you want. It's on your servos, exactly as a servo lead, and basically power is pluses in the middle, grey is ground. You stick that on there like so, and then you can plug that into a 5-volt power supply. Now this is basically an ESC which goes inside your plane. These belong to your motor. That will go into your power, which is an XD60, which goes into the battery, and then this will go into your throttle, so it controls the speed. So I'm looking at the camera upside down, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but hey ho. This controls the speed of your propeller, basically, the motor. Make sure it doesn't blow up, and also make sure that it does a lot more stuff. I don't know what it does actually. There's more stuff. I know that I'll have to look up that actually, but normally you get the plane with it in, and you get different ampage ones, so the higher the motor the more draw power, and it has to control that. I'm sure there's a lot of techno people out there that actually say, well Chris, actually it does this and this and this and this, but it's a cool thing, and you normally get the model with this in, unless you buy a model with nothing in. Then you need to know what you're talking about. We don't need that for now. What we do need is my X9D Taranis. This is my transmitter. Lots of funky buttons that I set up with lots of different things, but we won't go into that today. Basically all we're going to do is set up a new model. Right, okay, so I'm going to try and let's move around so then I can actually look at what I'm doing. So if we go to menu, so if you long press enter, create model. Okay, so long press means you just hold it down for a bit longer. Enter, loading model. Okay, receiver ID in use. Okay, but Jane, you can go random. Okay, exit. Don't know why it was said that, but I don't know. Let's go down to 7. Long press again, create new model, loading model. Right, okay. So we've got you know, a wing, a fixed wing, and a quad. If you want that, we want a fixed wing, so we enter on that. Then it's saying our motor, assign a channel. Now on here it's saying our throttle, which is the motor, is 3. So we go to use the up and down, plus and minus to highlight it. Enter that, so it's flashing, and we change that to channel 3. So we know that's going to be channel 3. Okay, page. It's now saying do what we want. Our ailerons as one channel. Yes, we do. We you know, when one goes down, we want one to go up, and that's basically our ailerons is channel 1. So, oh, wrong way. Channel 1. Enter. Boom. Page. Now it's saying, does your model have flaps? No, it doesn't have flaps. Does it have air brakes? No, it doesn't have air brakes. Does it have a elevator and rudder? Yes, of course it does. Well, saying of course it does, it could be something else. So let's go on our elevators. Now elevators on here on our receiver, if I can get it in shot, it says number 1. So let's change that to number 1. Enter. Do the plus or minus until we go to our rudder. it's saying our rudder is 4. So let's click that so it's flashing. 4, enter, boom, page. So let's just check that again. Throttle is channel 3, check. Ailerons is channel 1, correct. Rudder is channel 4, correct. And elevator is channel 1. That is not right. Elevator is channel 2. So we don't want to go back, we want to go back. Now how do I go back? Exit maybe. Oh dear. That's a bumblebee, isn't it? Don't know why I did that, and I'm not sure how to edit it either at the moment, or not on this video anyway. Exit, enter, long enter, I think, no, exit. As you can see, I'm such a newbie, but let's start again. Now I know there's a way to delete it, and I can't remember what it is. Is it hold exit? No. Menu. Is it old page? Okay, what's this one do? No. As you say, I'm still a noob at all this, and rather than sort of pre-cutting the video and everything else, it's just, you know, you can make mistakes. No one's going to hate you for it. Maybe you guys will. Right, log enter again, create model, enter, loading a model. I'm not sure what happened before. Enter fixed wing, yes. We want to change the throttle to 3. Boom. Page. We want to keep them the same, yes we do, which is our ailerons, which is 1. Change that again down to 1, boom, page. It hasn't got any flaps, hasn't got any brakes, it's not my Spitfire. We want to change channel, so elevators, this is what happened before, is channel 2. I don't know why I've done 1 anyway. And the rudder is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Okay, page. So there we go, 1, 2, 3 and 4. That is a correct, and it presses enter for long confirm, boom. Right, so we go page now. We can name this, so we'll name this, what should we name this? If it's J, and if I hold enter, it goes capital. So if it's a short enter, we just enter. So somewhere around here is numbers, and J3, enter, exit. There you go, don't worry about the rest. We don't want to look at timers or anything like that funky stuff yet. There's probably a billion videos out there for you to do that anyway, maybe, I don't know. Right, so we need to, on D16, we don't need this amount of channels. You can just leave it like that, it's not a biggie, but let's change it, enter again. We just do 1 to 6 channels. Enter. Now, keep going. As you see, I'm just using the plus or minus and enter when I want to do it. Now we get to that thing called bind. Okay, so all I'm going to do is press bind in a minute. So I'm going to take that out of shot, a little shot, you don't really need to see it. Okay, so let's get our battery as well. And what we're going to do, we're going to pretend this is in the aeroplane, so we can power everything up. So this would be powered, if this was in the aeroplane, this cable here, make sure the polarity is right, would go into your throttle, which is channel 3. So as per this, if you can just about see that maybe, plus is in the middle, minus is at the top. Boom, done, ready for that one. That will be going onto a motor. We don't want to do that on here. We don't need to plug this in just yet, but we can do. So ground is the last black one. So you'd think the green was ground, wouldn't you really? But it's not. This goes into the S-bus, I believe. I think. So then it can, it basically can transmit to the receiver. It can tell you basically what voltage it is, so you don't crash. You can, a lot of people put timers on. You can crunch some numbers and figure out the battery versus the motor. How much is it going to suck, and time it so you don't kill your battery. You normally want to land at least with about 50% battery left. Not a lot of time. Right, now you get a little screwdriver, and there's a little here, on here it says FS, but if you listen, Might be able to hear that. It's a little clicky switch. You need to hold that down while you plug it in. Now I haven't got hands, loads of hands, but yeah, well there's probably a simple way of doing this. He says, put that in. And the little LED comes on there as green, and it's probably waiting to be synced. Synced? Yeah, binded. Right, so now that's in bind, should be in bind mode. I now press enter on the bind on here. So if you bring this back into shot, just move that so it lights up. If you can see that just about. I'm getting too much light in it, sorry guys. Bind, so if we go down range bind, let's enter. Telemetry on, yes. That should be normally, there we go, little beeper and the little flashing, can you see that? It's a turn off the light. It's a little flashing red light saying, yeah baby, we're good to go. We're happening. Okay, exit. Then all we need to do is pull out the power, which we can do by this one. Put it back in the throttle, because that's what it's going to be controlling. It flashes blue. Really hard to see, there you go. And then goes green. We are good to go. Now, how can we prove this? So let's exit out here, the J3, and as you see we're on the J3, and you can, if we go here, you can probably see there's my, this would be the throttle and rudder, so we can play around with that. Now, what can we do? Now, I should have had one ready, really, for you guys, but I'm looking around, and I've got a servo. This is a servo. Let's get it in shot. This is a pretty cheap one. It just moves everything about, as you've seen on our planes. Now, what can we do? So we'll leave the throttle in because that's giving us the power. Let's put this in rudder. So if on this cable it's brown is live. So brown, it goes to the top. Stick it into rudder, and here's our little servo. We'll do the rudder, and there you go. In fact, let's just bring that down so you see what I'm doing. There you go. We have bound your receiver to your transmitter, baby. Oh yeah. Oh, don't ping them. So if we take that back out, and maybe we want to put them to our elevator, which is 2. So we pretend we're taking off, and here we go, we're taking off. Now I have got some settings on here that restricts the movement. No, I haven't saved them on here actually. I've got them on another model, but lying to you. What you can use these buttons for, there's lots of things you can do with buttons, and we'll go into, but this is obviously, this one here is when the buddy box, which I'll explain in another video. I'm going to have a look at this video to see if it's good enough for you, because I'm bumbling about a bit, but you can use this to set how far this travels. At the moment, that is a big travel line that you don't want to fly with, because your plane would just go you don't want that. You want a bit of nice flowing. So what you can restrict how far this goes, and so you'd only probably want it to go there, but that will be your full stick. But we'll work on that later on our travels, once we put all this sexy stuff into our J3 Cub. But you know, you can always refer back to this to say, oh, how did I connect it again? I can't remember. And here we go, here's the video. Now remember, you don't need your voltage sensor. This is just me. I prefer this because I have the telemetry on my radio that tells me what the state of the battery is, and also I can set it up so if it goes below, say, 3.8 volts, a little voice says, you know, battery low, land plane, which we'll go through another video. How many videos I can do and how quickly I can, who knows. But yeah, that's about it for connecting your receiver to your transmitter. I hope this has helped you. Thanks for all the people that's been subscribing to me. Probably should be speaking to you with I should be speaking to you face to face, so let's be right back. Okay, well, I hope that has helped you learn about putting your receiver to your transmitter. It was a bit rushed, but I'm still getting used to this lovely M50 camera, and I probably need it to go up in the air so I can actually show you properly rather than getting things in shot. But I hope it helped you. I mean, if it hasn't, please leave in the comments to say, Chris, remake this video, delete.